2D3.
This is enjoy life. 3 or 4 more times.
What?
We're doing happy.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Okay, the level's up. Yes, it sure is.
Try to see next time when you tell me, and I go with you to visit at least Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta. So we have to have each other's email. Okay.
So Joel, just try to sneak them up, sneak up the levels on. See if you can hear them. See if you can distinguish. Just like Aaron modified that one. Hey, Adam. Or can you put up a screen or a You guys are all over there. You guys ready?
Everybody up. Everybody up.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say to you. Hot air balloon that goes with the air, like I don't care, baby, about the way. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like a woman without a roof, because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy all alone. If you know what happiness is, because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold back. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy all alone. If you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy all alone. If you feel like that's what you want. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, the level's too high. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, let me tell you now. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, the level's too high. Bring me down, can't run. Bring me down, I said because I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm alone. If you know what happiness is for you, because I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do, because I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm alone. If you know what happiness is for you, because I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do, bring me down, can't none. Bring me down, that's too high. Bring me down, can't none. Bring me down, I said, because I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm alone. If you know what happiness is for you, hey, hey, I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do, because I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you, hey, I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do.
That was so much fun.
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm going to go right now. everybody. Does everybody have a schedule? ¿Todos tienen un horario ahora? ¿Alguien falta? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Hi. Buenas noches. If everybody got a schedule, you probably noticed that slotted for all of the classes are city presentations. And Geshe introduced it before by showing us what Israel was doing. And si todos tienen un horario, ya se han dado cuenta que a veces dice que va a haber presentación de ciudad, y Geshe Michael introdujo con lo de Israel. And now I'm going to present something that I've been working on with Geshe and a couple other people, Rebecca, Scott, called the Tibetan Language Channel. So it's actually a really amazing project. Geshe Michael's taught Tibetan a few times, but we don't really have any documentation of it. And we somehow convinced him, or he convinced us, to create this method for learning, like a video method for learning it. And thank you. Yo lo hago. Sí. Hemos empezado un sitio en el web. Bueno, por ahora es en YouTube, y después va a haber en el web otro sitio para enseñar tibetano por medio de videos. Y los estamos grabando en Sedona, Arizona, antes en Phoenix. We're filming these Tibetan videos in Sedona, Arizona at our new building that you're going to hear a lot about this week. And so far we've got about 30 to 40 classes with Geshe teaching us Tibetan. So this is the site on YouTube. And if anybody's interested, even if aun si eres un poquito interesado en aprender tibetano, es una muy buena manera de investigar, a ver si te interesa. If you're a little bit interested and you want to see if you might be more interested, this is a really cool way to check it out and see if you like it. And so I'll just show you the website real quick. YouTube's really cool. You can split it into sections. YouTube está muy chido. Lo puedes separar en secciones. Adam, can you go to the top? So we have one section just devoted to learning the alphabet. Tenemos una sesión solamente para aprender el alfabeto. And you can see we have maybe 15, 16 videos. Tenemos como 16 videos. And this just takes you from not knowing any Tibetan to understanding and be able to pronounce everything in the alphabet, including vowels. Y bueno, si empezando desde el principio, el alfabeto tibetano, Tibetan alphabet, ese te puede llevar desde no saber nada de tibetano a saber cómo pronunciar todas las letras en el alfabeto, hasta los vocales. Pronunciation, tenemos videos de cómo pronunciar las palabras correcto y la diferencia entre, bueno, ahorita les explico. There's two ways to write Tibetan down, or there's many ways, but with Roman characters, you can write letters that is the transcription. That's the exact, well, it's a code that you use Roman letters to describe the Tibetan letters that are written. But if you look at it, it's what Adam's projecting on the screen while Geshe is teaching. It's nothing like what Tibetan sounds like. So if you listen to what he's saying and you try to follow along, it's not going to look like the letters you see on there. And in these videos, Geshe Michael explains a lot the difference between pronunciation, writing, and transcription, transliteration. And we just started some videos on Tibetan grammar, where Geshe is teaching us Lekshe Junwang, a poem that if you memorize it, you'll know all Tibetan grammar, basically. Bueno, en español. Hay varios métodos para escribir tibetano y los videos de arriba, go back up. Los videos de pronunciación te explican la diferencia entre cómo está escrito con el código de cambiar de... Hay una manera de escribir tibetano con letras romanas que son para explicar exactamente cuáles letras tibetanas estamos usando, y hay otra manera que es la pronunciación, que es completamente diferente. And ahí Geshe Michael lo explica. And then grammar, bueno, está empezando a explicar la gramática tibetana. And then at the bottom, we have some videos on how to use the ACIP online database. So I don't know if everybody knows, but for 25 years, Geshe has been working on creating an online database of all spiritual literature, basically, but specifically Eastern literature and specifically Tibetan and Indian literature. And these videos are amazing because it's the key to how to use that database. That database has more wisdom than you could, it's as much wisdom fit on one little flash drive that would probably take hundreds of libraries. So it's a valuable resource, and we should probably try to learn how to use it. En español, esa parte de abajo explica cómo usar el database de... Eso. Base de datos de Asian Classics Input Project, que es como... Son tantas libres, ahí puedes puedes buscar por internet así con... Fácil encontrar lo que estás buscando en 5 segundos. O en un minuto. What would take you, que te tardaría vidas para encontrar antes que existía esa. So, can we show like 30 seconds of one of the videos? Okay. Adam, can you go up? Just show that one, yeah. Yeah, because it's so nicely filmed at Casa Jardín. Or not. I think it gets slower at night. Okay, anyway, please check out the YouTube page. It's called Tibetan Language Channel. Por favor, busca y checa la página en internet, en YouTube. Se llama Tibetan Language Channel. Y subscribe, please, so my numbers go up. ¿Cómo? Hay como 30 o 40 ahora. There's like 30 or 40 videos. Thank you.
It's okay. It's Mexico speed, okay. My students, my friends, to write out the pronunciation. So we'd like to give all of the people who come to the Georgia class, we're expecting about 100 people, we'd like to give them the Tibetan language, and we'd like to give them the pronunciation, we'd like to give them the translation. So I had these friends of mine to do the pronunciation. And then today I'd like to critique their work on the pronunciation so they can get better and better at it. And then, later it will be perfect. But what these corrections reflect is pieces where a foreigner, a Westerner, would have trouble getting the correct pronunciation. It's very important to get the pronunciation correct. And I just want to give you an example. Okay, the first example I have, these are words that came up in the first 30 verses of the Georgia, which people were writing out the pronunciation for me, and they made a mistake, and I'd like to explain the mistakes, okay? Because we learn more from our mistakes than the rest is all good, okay? So I'd want to take this example of this word. So please repeat the word hlungse. Hungse. Okay, good. Anybody know what a hungse is? It's kind of a strange word. It means that sage's bowl, that a monk or a nun. So we have a grant from Ted and Andrea Lemon. They gave a grant.
Who?
Ted and Andrea Lemon.
Ted y Andrea Lemon dieron un donativo.
And they're paying for 200 videos.
Y están pagando por 200 videos.
And Nick's doing all the work to edit them.
Y se requiere mucho trabajo editarlos.
And Scott has done most of the filming, and Rebecca has done some of the filming also.
Y Scott les preguntó. Can you repeat, please?
Scott has been doing the filming, and Rebecca also.
Scott ha estado filmando y Rebecca también.
So I'd like to thank them. Yeah.
Gracias.
And those are free. They're just free.
Son gratis.
Okay. So if you don't learn Tibetan, it's your fault, not mine. Okay.
Así que si no aprendes tibetano es tu culpa, no mía.
Okay. Mandala. Where's Phil? You ready? Okay. I'm a little bit sick, so if it gets too bad, I'll fly away, or something else might fly away.
Me siento un poco mal, así que si me siento peor, voy a tener que irme.
But we'll try, okay? But if I leave suddenly, don't worry, okay?
No se asusten si de repente me voy, ¿eh?
Okay. So, 4 kinds of kindness of the Lama.
Hay 4 tipos de bondades del Lama.
First one was that they are more kind to us than all the Buddhas.
La primera es que tienen más bondad que todos los Budas
Second one?
hacia nosotros.
You sure?
La segunda dice que nos enseñan. ¿Está seguro? Le pregunta.
Huh? Is that the second one? Is that the second one?
Son
What's the third one? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right. Sorry, Earl. Okay. Fourth one? They provide the physical place for us to learn.
Ok, la segunda es, tiene la suficiente bondad para enseñarte el Dharma. ¿La tercera cuál era? ¿Qué? Te cambia el corazón. ¿Y la cuarta? ¿Cuál es?
Provides the material for
¿Te traen en español qué? ¿Qué dice? ¿Cómo es?
attracts the students with money or food or theater performance.
Te soborna.
Okay, so the first one, that they are more kind than all the Buddhas, we split into 2 parts, okay?
La primera es que tienen mucho más bondad que todos los Budas y está dividida en 2 partes.
And we reached the second part.
Y ya hemos llegado a la segunda parte.
The first part is they are more kind than all the Buddhas in the past, okay?
La primera parte es que tienen mucho más bondad hacia ti que todos los Budas del pasado.
But the second part is they are more kind than Shakyamuni Buddha, the last Buddha, the most recent Buddha.
La segunda es que son más bondadosos que Buda Shakyamuni, el Buda más reciente.
That's a big deal because Shakyamuni is supposed to be like #1 kind Buddha in history. Okay?
Y eso es una gran cosa porque se supone que Buda Shakyamuni es como el número 1 en bondad de todos los Budas en la historia.
So we have to talk about this Buddha separately because if our Lama is kinder than all the Buddhas, he has to be kinder than Shakyamuni, or she.
Y así que tenemos que hablar separadamente de este Buda, ya que si nuestro Buda es más bondadoso que todos los Budas, por lo tanto ha de ser más bondadoso que Buda Shakyamuni.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. You're okay, you're okay. Che sumbatar rangchak sangye changsam shendu yang majang or chuki pome dundir. Che sumbatar means, as that verse was talking about, Kedrup Je's verse,
Como lo mencionaba el verso de Kedrup Je,
we didn't meet other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, okay?
no hemos conocido otros Budas y Bodhisattvas.
And we are Choki Pongba. Pongba is an ancient word that means broke. We are Dharma broke.
Y estamos Pomba, que significa como estar en la bancarrota o en la quiebra de Dharma.
We are poor.
Somos pobres de Dharma.
With Dharma, not money, but Dharma, okay?
No de dinero, de Dharma.
Lama di chundeda sumbe tukje che chewayin. So when we are Dharma broke,
Cuando somos pobres de Dharma,
to have a teacher who will teach us
tener un maestro que te enseña
is tukje che, okay? So this is a nice word in Tibetan, you should learn it, okay? Say tuk.
Tuk.
Tuk is the honorific word for heart. When you talk to a High Lama, you don't say, how's your heart? You say, how's your tuk?
Tuk es la palabra honorífica que se refiere al corazón. Cuando hablas con un lama muy alto, muy elevado, no dices cómo está tu corazón, le dices cómo está tu tuk.
So it means like holy heart.
¿Cómo está tu corazón sagrado, tu santo corazón?
Je means Lord.
Je significa Señor.
It comes in the word Je Tsongkhapa. It also comes in the word Dorje.
Viene en la palabra Je Tsongkhapa y también viene en la palabra Dorje.
Because Do means stone J means Lord. So the Lord of Stones is Dorje means diamond. Okay?
Dor significa piedra y Ye, Señor, y entonces el Señor de las piedras es diamante.
So the way to say thank you in Tibetan, it's good to, when you learn a language, it's best to learn the word thank you first.
Cuando aprendes cualquier lengua, lo mejor que hay que hacer, lo primero que tienes que aprender es aprender la palabra gracias.
So in Tibetan, when you say thank you,
En tibetano cuando dices gracias,
you say great Lord of hearts.
dices el gran Señor de corazones.
So it's a very beautiful word, okay?
Es una palabra muy bella.
Tukcheche. Tukcheche.
Tukcheche.
And it got, if you say it fast, it sounds like tojeche. Tojeche.
Tukcheche, si lo dices rápido.
Tojeche. Okay?
Tukcheche.
It's tukjeche.
Tukcheche.
Then here he says, that Lama, you shouldn't say thank you, you should say tukcheche.
A ese lama no le has de decir gracias, le has de decir tukcheche.
It means like muchos gracias. Okay, they are very kind to us.
Tienen mucha bondad con nosotros.
Then now he's going to prove that that Lama is kinder even than the last Buddha, which is Shakyamuni. Okay?
Y va a comprobar que ese Buda tiene más bondad que el último Buda, Buda Shakyamuni.
Nipa ge sangye shak tup la kyang katen hakte. So the second part is ge. Ge is the opposite of chi, like chi chedat. So you say, the first part said chi, which means generally, your Lama is kinder than all the Buddhas. Then when you say good, it means, and in particular, it means in particular, more kind than Shakyamuni Buddha, okay?
Entonces ahí dice chi, que generalmente tu Buda es más bondadoso que todos los Budas, y ku, y particularmente, especialmente refiriéndose a Buda Shakyamuni.
Then there's an error in the carving or the typing. It says a shakatup.
Hay un error en las escrituras.
It should say shaktup.
A decir shaktup.
That's the abbreviation in Tibetan for Shakyamuni. Okay.
Es
Tup
una
means muni.
abreviación de Shakyamuni. Tup significa muni.
So in Tibetan we don't say Shakyamuni. We say, hey, you heard about Shaktup?
En tibetano no decimos Shakyamuni, decimos Shaktup.
Okay. Shaktup like Kyang, this lay is comparative, even more kind than Shakyamuni. Okay.
Y este le es comparativo, incluso más bondadoso que Shakyamuni.
Nun kor gyur tsip. So there's another error in the typing. The first word of the second line is a mistake. It should say tsip.
Y ahí también hay un error en las escrituras.
It should be RTZIBS. Okay. Tsip. Tsip means ara. So all of you yoga students should know ara.
Todos los estudiantes de yoga han de saber ara.
Maybe I should go home and come back tomorrow.
Quizás debería de irme a mi casa y regresar mañana.
How do you say 1,000 in Sanskrit?
¿Cómo dices 1000 en sánscrito?
Sahasra.
Sahasrara.
So if you have 1,000 spokes on a wheel,
Si
it's
tienes
Sahasrara. Okay.
Si tienes 1000 pétalos o 1000 cosas que salen de una rueda,
What
le
is-
dices Sahasrara.
Where is Sahasrara? Crown chakra here. Okay.
Ese chakra está aquí en la coronilla.
So there are
Sahasrara.
like 7 chakras. This one is called Sahasrara.
Tenemos como 7 chakras y ese se llama Sahasrara.
1,000 petals or 1,000 spokes. Okay.
1000 pétalos o 1000, ¿cómo se llama eso de la bicicleta? Rayos, 1000 rayos.
These are called tsip. The spokes are called tsip. Tsipma. And the wheel, what holds the spokes is called mukyut. Okay, mukyut. Okay.
Los rayos Sip y la rueda Mukyu.
This is very important words for making a fire offering or a sand mandala.
Es una palabra muy importante para hacer una ofrenda de fuego o una mandala de arena.
So when we draw the mandala,
Así que cuando dibujamos la mandala
when we draw 3 circles,
y dibujamos 3 círculos
and you use your fingers,
y utilizas tus dedos,
then the first circle should be like 8, the second circle should be 4 more, and the third circle. These are called mukyu. Okay, also called mukyu.
Estos mukyu, el primer círculo 8 y el otro 4 más. Se
Then
llama
there are
mukyu.
beautiful books about how to draw those mandalas with sand.
Y hay unos libros que especifican cómo dibujar esas mandalas de arena
And they have their own language.
con su propia lengua.
And it's secret, and you have to learn it.
Y es un lenguaje secreto que has de aprender.
Because they don't want people drawing them without permission or without initiation.
Para poder dibujar este tipo de mandalas tienes que tener iniciación y...
So this is Mun Korgyur. Korgyur means Kor Le Gyur Wei Gyalpo. Kor Le Gyur Wei Gyalpo is here. It's abbreviated to Korgyur. Korgyur.
Korgyur.
Korgyur means. This is a long story. You want a long story?
Korgyur significa es una larga historia. ¿Quieren saber la historia?
Okay. In the 3rd chapter of the Abhidharma Kosha.
En el tercer capítulo de la Abhidharma Kosha.
It's Jigten Temba, the presentation of where the world came from.
En la presentación de dónde vino el mundo.
There's a discussion of all history up to now.
Hay una discusión de toda la historia hasta ahora.
And there was a kind of world king.
Y había como un rey de todo el mundo.
In Sanskrit, what?
En sánscrito.
Chakra. Don't say chakra. Chakravartin. Okay. Chakravartin.
En sánscrito Chakravartin.
The one who holds the wheel. Okay.
Aquel que sostiene la rueda.
Then in the Abhidharma, which was written 1700 years ago.
Y en el Abhidharma que fue escrito hace 1700 años.
There, I used to think he has some special wheel and maybe he can shoot people with it or something like that,
Y yo solía pensar que quizás él tenía una rueda especial con la cual podía dispararle a la gente o algo así.
It says this wheel was 1 mile long.
Dice que esta rueda medía como 1 milla, 1.6 kilómetros.
And it flies in the sky like this.
Y que volaba en el cielo así, circulando.
And when it lands, you can put all your elephants, all your army, you can put them in one wheel.
Y al aterrizar tú puedes poner a todos tus elefantes y todo un ejército dentro de una de esas ruedas voladoras.
Then it will take off and it will fly to another country and you can have a war or something.
Y con esa rueda podías ya despegar y volar a otro país y invadirlo y tener una guerra.
And then there's a long story. I'm not going to tell you the whole story.
Es una historia larga que no les voy a contar.
Different kinds of wheels: gold, silver, copper.
Hay diferentes tipos de círculos, de platillos, de oro, de plata,
silver, copper,
de cobre.
So many millions of years ago,
así que hace millones de años,
there was a king named the rim of the wheel that holds the spokes. The rim, the outside of the wheel, that holds all these spokes. His name was Rim, which holds the spokes. Yeah.
Había un rey cuyo nombre era el rin que sostiene los rayos de la rueda.
The rim is called in Sanskrit Nemi.
Nemi es el rin.
What's the spokes?
Los rayos es Ara.
So his name was Aranemi. Okay.
Su nombre era
Aranemi.
Then
he had 1,000 sons, okay?
Y tuvo 1000 hijos.
If you want to know how he made 1,000 sons,
si quieres saber cómo logró tener 1000 hijos,
you have to come to Nick's class on Thursday.
Tienes que venir a la clase de Nick el jueves.
Saturday.
El sábado.
He had 1,000 sons, and they each became bodhisattvas.
Tuvo 1000 hijos que todos se convirtieron en bodhisattvas.
And one day they're sitting around, probably the TV was broken, I don't know.
Y un día que quizás posiblemente la televisión no funcionaba.
And they're picking their dul shin. Each one is picking his dul shin, okay? Say dul shin. Dul is the same as dulwa.
Dul es lo mismo que dulwa.
Vinaya.
Vinaya.
Here shin means field or realm.
Aquí Shin significa campo o reino.
So they are choosing what planet will they go to. He's handing out planets, okay? I like to do that.
Y él entregaba planetas, y a mí me gusta hacer eso.
We start with city directors.
Empezamos con directores de ciudades.
Later we'll be up to planet directors.
Y luego tendremos directores planetarios.
Okay, don't laugh, okay?
No se rían.
Then that will take more than 3 minutes, Scott, to do each planet.
Porque va a tomar más de 3 minutos hacer cada planeta.
So they were choosing their dulshin. What planet will they help?
Y estaban escogiendo el dulce, ¿en qué planeta iban a ayudar?
And that's part of the process of Tukye, which is the honorific of Semkye.
Y esa es parte del proceso de Tunkie, que es el honorífico de Semkye.
What's Semkye?
¿Qué significa Semkye?
Bodhicitta.
Bodhicitta.
Okay. So this is part of what bodhicitta is.
Esto es parte de lo que significa bodhicitta.
Bodhicitta means ultimate love, right?
Bodhicitta significa amor supremo.
But here there's a good description of what it really is.
Pero aquí hay una buena descripción de lo que realmente significa.
Who's going to cover León?
¿Quién va a cubrir León?
Who's going to cover Mexico City?
¿Quién va a cubrir la Ciudad de México?
Who's going to cover Guadalajara?
¿Quién va a cubrir Guadalajara?
Who's going to cover the star Sirius?
¿Quién va a cubrir la estrella Sirio?
Who's taking care of Andromeda?
¿Quién está cuidando la Andrómeda?
This is their choosing their planet.
Y ellos estaban escogiendo sus planetas,
Not their city, okay?
no su ciudad.
And that is bodhicitta.
Y eso es bodhicitta.
Okay, I will go to that city and I will help them. Like the Singapore team is helping the Indonesia team to start.
Voy a ir a esa ciudad y les voy a ayudar, como el equipo de Singapur que está ayudando al equipo de Indonesia a comenzar.
To think about it
Pensar en eso
is a big part of bodhicitta.
es una gran parte de lo que significa tener bodhicitta.
It's love.
Es amor.
So people, when DCI picks another city,
Cada que DCI escoge otra ciudad,
this is another part of love.
esa es otra parte de lo que significa el amor.
Here it's called bodhicitta.
Aquí se llama bodhicitta.
Then our Buddha, Shakyamuni,
Nuestro Buda Shakyamuni,
other Buddhas, the other sons, the other 999 sons,
los otros 999 hijos,
they said, they looked at the different planets,
escucharon, miraron los diferentes planetas
and different times of history.
y diferentes tiempos históricos dentro de ellos.
Then there's a Tsudu. Here it says Tsudu, right?
Y aquí hay un Sudu.
Last of the third line there, Tsudu. Tsudu means, okay, you have to know the word tsupa, okay?
Tienen que saber la palabra tsopa.
Say tsupa.
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 That's the Tibetan word for debating.
Es la palabra tibetana para debatir.
Okay. What did you do this afternoon?
¿Qué hiciste esta tarde?
You say, in Tibet, you say, I debated a debate.
Yo debatí en un debate.
Tsupatsu.
Tsupatsu.
I was tsupatsu,
Yo soy un tsupatsu.
You guys were, right, unbelievably tough,
Fueron muy rudos, muy exigentes, muy buenos en el debate.
But the era of tsupa, the time of tsupa, is called the days of darkness, the days of strife, the days of fighting. We are in Tsudu now, in this world. Okay.
Aquí se refiere a los días de oscuridad, los días de pelea, y ahorita vivimos en días de oscuridad y de pelea en este mundo aquí ahora.
And it's called Tse Lo Gyapa. Say Tse Lo Gyapa.
Gyapa.
This also comes from the Abhidharma.
Esto también viene del Abhidharma.
In the beginning, like when the Christian people talk about the Garden of Eden.
Cuando los cristianos hablan acerca del jardín del Edén.
In the beginning on this earth.
Al principio en esta tierra.
People lived for like 10 to the 60th power years, okay? I don't know how much.
La gente vivía 10 a la 60ª número de años, que no sé
trillions
cuánto
of
es.
years, okay? There was no sun.
No había sol.
Why?
¿Por qué?
They didn't need it.
Porque no lo necesitaban.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Their bodies were made of light.
Sus cuerpos estaban hechos de luz.
Hey, take off your shirt so we can get some light over here.
Quítate la camisa para que nos llegue un poco de luz aquí.
Okay, so they didn't have sun even.
No tenían sol.
And they didn't need to eat food.
Y tampoco necesitaban comer comida.
And it was like the Garden of Eden.
Era como el jardín del Edén.
This is in the Abhidharma.
Esto está escrito en el Abhidharma.
Like sometimes when I look at Sedona, I think, oh, it looks like an old city that was melted a little bit.
Y a veces cuando miro a Sedona y pienso que parece una ciudad antigua que se derritió.
I think it's possible.
Creo que es posible que se haya derretido.
Look at it, but there were huge cities. People didn't eat.
Había grandes ciudades donde la gente no comía.
And the ground was made of, like honey, which is a little bit hard. Like that, you can buy the honey which is not like water. It's like a little bit hard.
Y
I like it.
el suelo estaba hecho como de una miel, de esa miel de buena calidad que está muy dura.
The earth used to be made of this honey.
Y la tierra estaba hecha de este tipo de miel.
Then in the Christian tradition, they ate an apple, right?
En la tradición cristiana se comieron una manzana.
In the Buddhist tradition, somebody went like this.
En la tradición budista alguien hizo eso.
And then that food made his body more physical.
Y esa comida hizo que su cuerpo de luz se hiciera más
And the
físico.
light start to disappear.
Y la luz empezara a disipar.
And the body got more physical.
Y el cuerpo de luz empezó a transformar en un cuerpo físico.
Then in the Bible they talk about, who are those guys? Cain and Abel.
Y en la Biblia hablan de Caín y Abel.
One of the first brothers, and they killed one of them killed the other.
Uno de los hermanos mató al otro.
So it also, we say in Buddhism, people started to lie and to kill. Okay.
Y en el budismo también decimos, la gente empezó a mentir y a matar.
Then the bodies got harder and harder.
Y los cuerpos empezaron a endurecer.
And the lifespan started to shrink.
Y la vida empezó a disminuir.
And then they developed weapons that can spread fire over the whole face of the planet.
Y desarrollaron armas que podían encender, llenar de fuego todo el planeta.
And then one day they used them.
Y un día las usaron.
And they blew up all the cities on earth. Okay.
Y quemaron todas y bombardearon todas las ciudades de la tierra.
Then they say there were a few people who were staying in Tequila.
Y había algunas personas, dicen que había algunas personas que se quedaban en Tequila.
They were outside of the city. They were camping or something.
Estaban afuera de las ciudades acampando, algo así.
They walked back to the cities.
Y al volver a las ciudades estas personas
Everyone's dead.
encontraron a todos muertos.
There's only like less than 1% of people survive.
En menos de 1% de la población sobrevivió.
Then they meet together.
Y se juntaron, se reunieron los sobrevivientes.
By that time, their life has dropped under 100 years.
Para ese entonces su tiempo de vida ya duraba menos de 100 años.
Lifespan has dropped under 100 years. Okay.
Era
And that's a
menor a 100
sign that we
años.
are close to the end.
Y ese es un signo de que estamos cerca del final.
And that's the sign that the world is at war. Okay.
Y ese es un signo de que el mundo está en guerra.
Then it's a beautiful thing. The survivors say, how did we get this problem? You know?
Y los sobrevivientes empezaron a preguntar cómo es que habían tenido ese problema.
We made nuclear weapons. You know?
Pues es que construimos armas nucleares.
And what should we do?
¿Y qué debemos de hacer?
Let's make a list of 10 things that nobody can do.
Hagamos una lista de las 10 cosas que nadie puede hacer.
No killing.
No estoy bromeando.
No stealing.
No matar.
No sexual
no
misconduct.
robar.
They made
no
the same list.
sexual inapropiada.
Okay. Then they kept it very strictly.
Y se mantuvieron estrictamente éticos.
And those seeds caused the lifespan to go back up to millions of years.
Y esas semillas incrementaron sus vidas.
So it goes like this. The history of this world.
La historia de este mundo va así.
20 times.
20 veces.
Four groups of 20.
4 grupos de 20 veces.
80 millions of years.
80 millones de años.
Then they say
muchos millones de años.
The sun will start to supernova.
Y luego dicen que el sol empezará una supernova.
And there will be global warming.
Y habrá calentamiento global.
And then all the plants will die.
Y todas las plantas morirán.
And then all the animals will die.
Y todos los animales morirán.
And then finally the sunlight will reach the earth and it will burn the earth.
Y también la luz solar llegará a la tierra y la quemará.
Then there's a big debate. What happens to those people?
Y hay un gran debate y que se pregunta qué le va a pasar a esas personas.
And because of karma, their mind goes to another planet, another solar system. Okay.
Debido a su karma, su mente se va a otro planeta, a otro sistema solar.
That's a long story. Okay.
Esa es una historia larga.
There's more.
Hay mucho más.
It's very beautiful.
Es muy bello.
So that was written almost 2,000 years ago.
Eso fue escrito hace más de 2000 años.
But it means when the lifespan of human beings drops under 100 years average.
Y eso significa que cuando el periodo de vida en promedio de un humano se baja de los 100 años,
that is the time of destruction. Okay.
es que estamos en un tiempo, en una época de destrucción.
Then these 1,000 sons are each choosing their world, right?
Y entonces estos 1000 hijos, cada uno estaba escogiendo su mundo.
And they had a discussion.
Y tuvieron una discusión.
What kind of people inhabit a planet which has less than 100-year lifespan average?
Y entonces se preguntaban, ¿qué tipo de personas o qué tipo de seres viven en un planeta en donde la gente vive menos de 100 años?
And they said Dulkawa. Dulkawa means hopeless.
Y dicen, Dulkawa significa gente sin esperanza.
Cannot teach them. Okay.
Gente en las cuales no podemos tener esperanza, no se les puede enseñar.
They just want to watch TV or do Facebook or.
Quieren solo ver televisión o estar en Facebook.
They are dying.
Se están muriendo.
Their world is at war.
Su mundo está en guerra.
And they just want to, send Twitters and stuff.
Y solo quieren enviar Twitter y cosas así.
So then everybody said, well, who's going to go to the earth,
Y todos se preguntaban, entonces, ¿quién de nosotros va a ir a la tierra?
It's in the time of less than 100 years. Logyapa means the time of 100 years.
Y están en uno de esos tiempos donde la gente vive menos de 100 años.
Then Tangyom Sulupa means they decided to skip it.
Y entonces estos bodhisattvas decidieron no ir.
999 of them decided to skip it. They said, I'll pass.
999 dijeron que no iban a ir a ese planeta.
I don't want to go try to teach people like that.
Y dijeron, no, yo no voy a ir a intentar enseñarle gente.
Tumbe kuke tamse gatso dul. So the Buddha in that life, Kuke, was a Brahmin named Drop of the Ocean.
El Buda en esa vida era un brahman llamado Gota del Océano.
And he said, I will take that planet.
Y él dijo, yo tomaré ese planeta.
Out of 1,000 Buddhas, he said, I will take that planet.
De 1000 Budas dijo, yo me encargo de ese planeta.
Therefore, Shakyamuni is more kind than other Buddhas in the days of darkness.
Por lo tanto, Shakyamuni es más bondadoso que otros Budas en los días de oscuridad. Pero
Timba de kyang matulwe dulke kewo daktan dagdar. But there were people who were even so wild and crazy that Shakyamuni couldn't make them enlightened.
Pero incluso hubo gente que estaba tan loca y tan descontrolada que ni Shakyamuni pudo hacerlos que se iluminaran.
Who?
¿Quién es?
Dark. Dark means me.
Yo. Dharma significa yo.
Dark Jawa means and people like me.
Gente como yo.
He's a very great high lama and he will never criticize the audience. Okay?
Él es un gran lama y él nunca criticaba a la audiencia.
He will say, who was impossible to get enlightened by Shakyamuni?
¿A quién le fue imposible ayudar a iluminarse a Shakyamuni?
Me and people like me. He always talks like that.
Y siempre hablaba así y siempre se refería a sí mismo, decía a mí o a gente como yo, pero nunca se refería a la audiencia.
Lama dinyi kona gosukadin hakpachetsu. Therefore, your own personal lama is extremely kind because he stuck around to fix you. Okay?
Y por lo tanto, tu propio lama personal es más bondadoso porque él sí se quedó para arreglarte.
Okay. Now he's going to go a different way. Okay.
Ahora se va a ir hacia otra dirección en el texto.
Maybe we do one or two questions.
Una o dos preguntas.
Then I'll take you back. Okay.
Y luego continuaré.
The next thing is a little bit of a long story.
Porque la siguiente es una historia un poco larga.
And if you think you're tired today, wait for 5 days. Okay.
Si creen que están cansados, espérense 5 días.
Okay. I'm not gonna give you any relaxation. Okay.
No les voy a dejar nada de relajación.
Okay. Any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta?
If there's no questions, we can keep going. Okay. Okay, let's keep going.
Continuamos.
Day J, after that,
Después de eso,
Gyagana means in India.
en India,
So in Tibet, there's a separate word for India and China. Okay.
en Tibet hay una palabra separada para India y China.
India is called Gyagar.
India es Gagar,
China is called Gyanak.
China Kenak.
Gya means big country.
Ya significa gran país.
Gyatso means big lake, for example.
Ya
ocean.
significa gran lago.
Then Kar means what? Karpo. White. Okay. So
Kar significa blanco.
the big country where people like to wear white clothes is called India. Gyagar.
El gran país donde la gente le gusta vestirse de blanco es India.
Then the big country where people like to wear black clothes is called Gyanak, which is China.
El gran país donde la gente le gusta vestir ropa negra es Yana, China.
So in India,
Así que en India,
Temba Tepe Rabdun, there were 7 patriarchs.
en la India había 7 patriarcas o caciques.
Okay. These are the 7 generations just after Lord Buddha. Okay.
Eran patriarcas 7 generaciones después de Buda.
So usually when we are calculating Lama lineages, we guess about 30 years between Lamas. Okay. If I'm 60, then my best students will be about 30 right now.
Sí, entre generaciones de maestros discípulos para calcular el periodo entre cada uno son de 30 años, así que si yo tengo 60, mis mejores estudiantes tienen 30.
So for just over 200 years,
Así que durante 200 años
there are 7 generations with a great leader.
hubo 7 generaciones con grandes líderes.
The first one was named Mahakashyapa. Okay.
El primero
After Buddha.
se llamaba Mahakashyapa.
Okay, so first there came the 7 patriarchs.
Primero vinieron los 7 patriarcas
Then came Drupchen Gechu.
y luego vino Dupchen Getchu.
Drup means Siddha, Chen means Maha.
Drup significa Siddha, Chen, Maha.
So then came the 80 Mahasiddhas.
Y
Okay.
vinieron los 80 Mahasiddhas.
There's not just 80, okay?
No solo hay 80.
Hang on one second. Maybe. Yeah, I think I have to go. We finish tomorrow. Okay. Sorry.
Terminaremos mañana.
Okay. I have to run. Okay.
Yes.